Crypto gaming has never been easier. Polemos is here. Get started your way. Create an account seamlessly with multiple login options, including your preferred wallet or social accounts. Get educated here. Dive into our comprehensive university content and master the gains. Find your community. Make friends, join guilds, and engage in a growing network of creators, gamers, and crypto pioneers. Buy crypto effortlessly on our platform, your gateway to the gaming universe. Load up on the best in-game assets, rent, stake, and maximize your potential all in one place, the Armory. Polemos is your all-in-one platform for the future of gaming, and it's just getting started.
Hello, Polemidians. How are we doing today? Rangers coming in from Illuvium. Can you guys hear me? How's everyone doing on this fine Wednesday? We've got a lot to talk about. There's been a lot of exciting news in the industry in the last couple days. Some good, some bad, unfortunately. But Scoriox and I will be going over it today. Let's go ahead and bring up our guest, Scoriox. How are we doing, sir?
Hello. Good, good. It's a good day. It's a good day. I'm looking forward to your Leviathan tournament, man. I'm just going to say.
Oh, yep. And we'll be getting into the details of the Leviathan tournament a little bit later. I should actually probably have that pulled up so we can go through all of the details. But it is... go ahead. You're going to say something?
Did you call the community Poleminians?
Poleminians.
What's that short for? What's the?
I don't know. We don't have anything else better to go with, so it's just...
What about Polemites?
Polemites.
Like hoplite.
Hoplite. Yeah. All right. Maybe we have to change it because Polemidians it just sounds ridiculous. It is long, but I've been doing it for a little while now, so we'll see. Polemites. That'll be the next one. Awesome. Well, Scoriox, I think most people know you because we've covered a lot of Illuvium over the time, but feel free to introduce yourself a little bit, what you're doing behind the scenes in Illuvium, how long have you been in this community, and how long have you been in Web3 also? Just curious.
I've been in Web3 since I came to crypto, probably almost. So since 2021, really. So about 4 years now. And I've been covering Illuvium almost just as long, maybe 6 months less than that. So 3.5 years. But I'm trying to cover a lot of different stuff nowadays. Mostly AAA, what I would consider AAA Web3 or AAA crypto games, as everyone is saying nowadays, which includes a lot of different things. But I love the IMX ecosystem. I love Overworld, Star Atlas, and Illuvium. And I really just love covering quality products. And like, I was just watching your intro before, and it's a little bit outdated. I think Metalcore was on there. I love Metalcore, but I don't think they're around anymore. But like that intro, really, when you look back at it, you're like, shit, like Web3 games, as far as their cinematics and things, are not that far behind the rest of the industry. Yeah. They're almost just regular games now. We're almost... Because crypto gaming kind of needed to hit this maturity point, right? A studio can't develop a proper studio until about 4 to 5 years in. And we're finally starting to hit that point. It's not going to be like good games necessarily, but they're going to be complete games, which is really exciting. And that intro, I think, spells that out for everyone really, really well. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I mean, there's definitely a couple games that we're excited to cover. I definitely need to jump into Overworld more. I know that I've been out of their community for a little bit, but if you're saying it's looking good, definitely need to hop in there. I know we're covering Futureverse. They've been in the shadows building some stuff. Should be coming out fairly soon. And then we've got Project O. We got Raven Quest. I mean, Raven Quest was probably the biggest launch I've seen so far, aside from Off the Grid. And they just had a lot of active players. That felt like a real MMO that actually came into the space and did something. But
I love Project O. It's funny you mention that. I love Project O because I was one of the only mobile games I ever really loved was Marvel Snap. I hated their card acquisition. I think most people in Marvel Snap still do. It sucks. But I really loved the game format because I love TCGs and I love strategy games, but I always felt like they're a little bit dated. Like Hearthstone and stuff are a bit hard to get into nowadays. They're so slow compared to the current day of gaming. But Project O is doing some awesome stuff by blending the two, and it's just such a fun game.
No, I 100% agree. And if you guys want to play Scoriox, if you want to play, we got a week of Project O. Is it Project O or Project Zero? That's also, I just saw that they actually...
No, it is Project O. Yeah, okay. I asked. Yeah, they're changing it. It won't be Project O forever. They have an actual name coming. I don't even think it's related to the O at all. But yeah.
Okay. Nice.
I came seventh in their last tournament, so you'd be struggling to beat me.
Ooh, okay. No, I mean TCGs are not my strong suit. I'll be honest. Like that's where I struggle. I mean, I probably could do decent if I spent the time to like make this cool chain where if I get this card, then like I can spit out like 10 different cards and destroy. But I know Carl, our CEO, he loves Hearthstone. So he might be your competition when it comes to the end of the month. But
I got to Legend a few times in Hearthstone. I did really enjoy it. But yeah, strategy games are my forte.
Nice. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and go over what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to talk about Illuvium. We're going to go back to Illuvium. I know we talked about some other Web3 games, discuss, recent updates, the IPL, which has been finally announced. I know that has got me just pumped. I think we've all been waiting for this for years. Super excited about that. We got the Leviathan Rumble, hosted by Polemos, sponsored by Illuvium. And if you haven't seen our recent posts, they have given us another 100 ILV on top. So this prize pool is stacked. And we're also throwing in some other interesting things, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then we'll just go over some other Web3 trends, anything else that's worth checking out. And then just talk about events that we're hosting in Polemos. But let's go ahead and hop into Illuvium. You want to share what your thoughts are of the recent updates? We have spectator mode. We have an amazing, like fully like feature complete arena. I think that's been around for a little bit now, but I think that everyone's starting to see it, especially after this. And maybe we'll pull up that pump real quick on screen real quick. I think everyone's going to be like, whoa, Illuvium didn't die? What are they building over there? And what's the game like now? Feel free to talk about that. Tell us what you're thinking.
I think there's a few different things to break down in regards to it. The first one, the most positive one, is the features. It's very, very feature complete now. Obviously, there's some polish and stuff to go back in, but it's very feature complete there. The game feels like you're getting a different experience every time you play with things like drone augments, region amplifiers, the weapons and suits and things like that. All the features feel like they're meshing really well. The balance of the game is pretty good for the most part. They do need to do a run of it soon. But the game is really fun. It's really complete. It feels like you go from start to end. There's not a moment of waiting. You're just doing things the whole time. Like, it's really engaging. It's really fun. Maybe the opposite of the Overworld in a certain sense. But it is so much fun. It's so good. As for spectator mode, it's incomplete. It's missing a few details that are really important, but I'm sure they're not far away. And then all the cosmetics and things look really awesome. I'm looking forward to the battle pass, but the game itself is ready. It's finally ready. It's like, because it's easy to dismiss where we've come from. It's really easy to forget. But I remember 3 or 4 months ago, the game was not stable at all. Every time you would click something, it would take like 10 seconds for your action to register. Or at least it felt like that. And I know some people in Discord talk about crashes and things like that. I haven't had a game crash or have a disconnect issue or anything myself for a very long time. And I had it every now and then in the past. So just like, it might not be perfect and some people might still be having issues, but it's definitely more stable than it's ever been. I think that's very important, alongside all the features that are in it as well now, which are all things that would destabilize a game, but they've added a new feature, restabilized it, added a new feature, and so on and so forth. And I think it really shows. It's really easy to forget where we've come from. And I think the game's in a better state than it's ever been before. And I'm looking forward to the IPL and everything as well, the competitive scene. I think now is the right time to do it. And with the token and everything pumping and crypto doing pretty well markets-wise, I think the timing couldn't have been better. But I'm just glad the team got the game what I would consider right. But I'm looking forward to some of the other updates and things as well. Some of the polish that needs to come still.
Yeah. And you didn't touch on bugs. I remember where we would have crashes like every other game. And now it feels like I don't remember the last time I had a crash. I really don't. And I think, that showed pretty well in Rich's tournament. I don't think there was too many crashes there. If any, I don't remember. I think that's starting to feel really good. So it's just like, it's finally coming together. And I think a lot of us have been dreaming of the day where we can not only play the ranked mode at a competitive level, at a fun level, but also Leviathan. And we saw that in the recent Leviathan tournament where people get to play with their own alluvials. And my alluvials are ass, but I still loved that tournament. I got wrecked. There was some monster. I know Fox, his team, I didn't think I beat him once during the whole match, and he just stopped me. If I saw him, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose this one. Go ahead.
I really underestimated it, but you're right. It was a surreal experience. I had like I was going into it. I'm like, my alluvials are trash. When I got in there, they weren't actually that bad. Okay, they weren't that bad. Like I got a slappin. I didn't realize I had like a good slappin in my collection for some reason. But my slappin was like stomping everyone. I was on like a 10-win streak right off the bat.
Oh.
And then I started getting my stage 2 alluvials, and I was kind of like in the mid ground. I wasn't that strong. And my stage 3s were ass. And I got like absolutely decimated at the end, in the end game. It was just really funny. And I'm like, damn, I wish. And I was so focused on like, which alluvials do I own, don't I own, and all the other side of things that come to it. Everyone was playing so different as well. They're all going down really specific tracks rather than what I'm used to, is everyone going for like the meta comps and stuff. And so the game was just playing out so differently. That was my favorite part about it all, is Leviathan was not the same game as Ranked Gauntlet. It just wasn't. Everyone played so differently, and the strategy changed completely. And that's what was really cool about it, is ownership played such a role that it was an entirely different game. And that's what excites me for Leviathan in the future as well. I hope they maintain that.
Yeah. And I mean, the floor prices are responding too. I don't know if you've tried to like look at the high TPI, high level alluvials. Some of those tier 5s are going for thousands of dollars as a floor price. So it's not just people listing it. So that's pretty exciting. That means there is some demand for these. They're excited for what's coming in the future for Leviathan. I know that this IPL is only ranked, but I'm hopeful that Illuvium will have some side tournaments that are Leviathan focused, and potentially the next IPL for Q1 next year, Q2 next year. That'll be purely Leviathan, and then or at least hybrid, and that should be really, really engaging. Should bring in those whales that just have these monster decks. They'll be able to come and stomp on people. So that's super exciting. You mentioned spectator mode. That has felt so good. I'm curious if anyone in the chat has been using that to scout people. Are you learning from the pros? Are you looking at what the competition's doing? Because that's what I would be doing if I had the time to dedicate to it right now. I know, be looking at what Fox is doing, what Nariba's doing. Some of these guys that just literally get like a win rate of over 50% every game. It's crazy.
They're all doing the exact same thing. You don't need to watch them.
Is it all the Revenant stuff? I think that was the last.
It's insane. Some of them have found like slight variations that are working a little bit better, but it's absolutely mental right now. I can't do it anymore. I've come up with a new strategy for myself where I find like the sort of team and strategy I really like. And I'm just trying to learn that really, really well. And I'm starting to use the team planner inside the game and stuff more. And honestly, I'm enjoying my experience even more. So it's fun. And eventually I'll find a team comp that maybe counters the Revenants pretty well.
Hey.
So that's the thing, is we've seen comps like this dominate in the past, and maybe the Revenant's different. You never know. I mean, this time is different, is a dangerous phrase or whatever, right? But in the past, like, you'll have like a comp that dominates, and just someone just comes out and has found like the perfect counter that just demolishes it and just plays that. And then everyone's like, oh, wait, so Revenants aren't actually that OP. It's just no one bothered to find a counter yet. And it gets really interesting. And again, this might be a little bit different this time, but I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah. And Big Man JB is mentioning he's bought some to prepare for the resale for set 2. So very, very bullish on what's happening in Illuvium. That's cool. I know that we just bought some alluvials, and they'll be part of the prize pool for the Leviathan Rumble. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Kind of an interesting way that we set up the prize pool. I'm wondering what you guys will think about it, if you think it's a good idea or not. But I never showed the what's it called, the Illuvium price. Check this out. I haven't looked since yesterday. I think the last time I looked, it was down here, and I was still happy. Like, it was still pumping, or it's still like really well above, it was like a 60% day. And now it's like, it popped up to 24 earlier today. That's crazy. And look at the volume. I was looking at the volume compared to before, like it's 403 million for that 24-hour volume. If we go to like all time, like that's pretty close to like Illuvium at its peak. 475 million. I mean, I'm not a TA, an analyst by any. Don't take any financial advice from me. I am in the red in almost every regard, so don't ever buy stuff that I say to buy. But I'd say it's looking pretty good. I'm excited. And Surfer Dude saying he's done some mega stalking, trying to get those alluvials. That's awesome. Okay, so let's stop screen sharing. I think we'll move on to what's next on our agenda. Let's talk about how the Illuvium community has made impacts on the game. Is this a game where you think that people actually have a voice, or is this like other traditional studios where the CEO and the founders kind of make the decisions? Or have you felt that, especially in the last epoch, that and epoch is how like the last regulatory period for the Illuvium DAO Council, do you feel like they're making an impact and they're actually swaying some of the decision making and making good decisions or bad decisions?
I think they definitely have a voice. I think it's easy to forget all of the times that they've had a voice. I think the one that comes to mind, there's two or three that comes to mind straight away. First up, I know it's not the arena specifically. When Illuvium Zero got updated so you could see other people's lands, they went back on that like 12 hours later because the community really didn't like it. They weren't a fan. The arena, when the carousel first dropped and it was buggy, everyone was like, it's buggy as hell. Don't put it in. And
Get it out of here.
They took it out until it was ready to come back in. There were a few other things, some balance things. Even though they take a little while, they always address the major balance concerns. I'm expecting in the next patch, Revenant's going to get absolutely demolished to a certain extent. So that's definitely coming and stuff like that. And for features and things like that as well. People, one of the really good examples is bonding was in the Ascendant arena and it didn't make it through to the Gauntlet arena, okay? Because bonding made it a little bit too easy to get synergies in the Ascendant arena. And I think that was part of the thing, is getting the synergy should be like a big part of the gameplay. It's like, if you play well enough, you get them all and then you kind of win and stuff like that, right? And people really love bonding. And so the team found a way to work all of the other mechanics and stuff in the game, bring bonding back and bring all that excitement. And now, even though some of the synergies were hard to get, through bonding, synergy chips, weapons, and all that sort of stuff, there's a whole new system in there that allows you to do that. And that goes with the suits and the weapons in the shop. I know that they probably never really planned for that to be the long-term solution, but at the same time, they really weren't sure how easy or hard that was going to be to play with. And the community let them know very, very quickly. And even though they didn't remove it straight away, because they still needed something there in the meantime, they got straight to work on updating that entire system and creating something brand new that could go into the game. And so the community's had a lot of impact. What people don't tend to appreciate as much is a studio, or any company for that matter, has a process it needs to adhere to. Okay, and with game studios and things take time to develop. It just, even if the community says they want something 1,000 times, someone needs to go in and build that thing, and it might take a month, it might take 2 months, and then by the time it comes out, people forget that they were even asking for that in the first place, and they go, oh, we've never been heard. We say all this stuff and they never do anything. They do. It just takes a long time for it to actually get executed, and that's unfortunate in some sense. The big one's balance, where they don't feel heard, is because balance in theory can be executed quite quickly, or so you would think, but maybe it creates bugs and things like that. I don't know. But I would say balance is the big thing. I wish they could do that more often and more frequently. I think I know a lot of people do that. Like Revenants have been a nuisance for quite some time, and it would have been nice to get like a really quick hot fix to nerf them a bit. But again, the team's just like, they've been grinding out on big major features, so they haven't spent a whole lot of time on these smaller things, and they fold them into these patches so they don't need to spend so much time on deploying patches and editing that sort of back-end stuff and things like that. So I totally get it. But now that we're feature complete, I think we've probably got a little bit of stuff still going in. I mean, Battle Pass and stuff like that. Once that's all in, then they can focus 100% of their time on a lot of this other sort of stuff, and balance fixes and things that they can do more frequently. I'm looking forward to that, but I definitely think the community has had a pretty decent role in at least influencing the team, not necessarily creating the features themselves. But I know Aaron reads everything, and he probably took a lot of inspiration for a variety of different features directly from community members, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and we have SJud in the chat, obviously being a little critical here, as typical, if you know SJud. But he's saying that we should probably talk about the active players. All right, and so like you can see this if you go to the Illuvilytics website made by Rich and some of the people there. I mean, it is 1 p.m. on a Wednesday, and there are 36 players in 7 active games. And this is pre the tournament and stuff. I think this is
click the rank tab just below on the left.
Ranked?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 4. Okay. So, that probably means that there's a lot of new players starting to play casual, right? If we have these casual lobbies.
Well, I saw someone said the other day that, or they could be testing builds or whatever. I saw someone the other day that said but there were 10 ranked games, I think concurrently running, which is probably the highest we've had in a very long time. So there's definitely an uptick of players ever since these announcements, and even a bit before that as well. So it's been very exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely needs to improve. I think we all know that it needs to be higher, but I think as of a starting point, you look at like off the grid, and it was the biggest one out there. I think if you go on a Southeast server right now, they don't have any players. You find a game and you get like 3 out of like the full lobby. And so it's kind of difficult for them too. I mean, we need to pick it up for these games to be really powerful. But I mean, Rich's tournament last week, I think there was 110 players that were all ready to go. So I think it's going to get there. I'm optimistic. I know the Polemos is optimistic on it, and we're going to keep pushing to try and help Illuvium where we can. So, but also talking about transparency. So there, you can see how many players are actively playing right now. You can also see the, what's it called? The runway. Kieran has been very, very transparent about runway for the longest period of time. And it's kind of interesting because you have other games that are just shadow dying. Like Tokyo Beast was like probably my top game. I was really, really excited for what they were doing, and they just suddenly just shut down the studio. So that's really sad. And I think that at least we have a very clear visibility on what Illuvium's doing and how it's going to be going. So yeah. But cool. So let's talk about also not Wildcard, Sparkball. I don't know if you saw Sparkball.
Yeah, that's really sad. I love Sparkball. I hope they figure it out.
Yeah, it's just it's sad to see that there were a really good MOBA, a really good MOBA with a ball sport feature to it, similar to like League of Legends. I love the team. Like Chandler is just an awesome guy. I loved playing with him. It was cool to get in there with him. Really, really good time. But okay, let's move on to Overworld. Illuvium Overworld. We got the MMO. Kieran had a town hall about that last week on Friday. Talked a little bit about it. What are your thoughts? Do you think that that's going to be a big mover for Illuvium, or is the arena going to take the spotlight and be able to carry it all the way to more mass adoption?
No, it'll be the MMO Lite. If you're talking about mass adoption in any sense, I think the arena is not really going to hit it hard with the crypto crowd, and the MMO Lite is much more. They're much more into the crypto gaming crowd. Is much more into MMOs and that sort of stuff than anything else. They really have such little interest in the other genres of gaming. And you say, well, it doesn't need to appeal to crypto gamers because gamers are going to be playing the game in the end, and that's what you want for mass adoption and things like that. But you and I both know the YouTube algorithm well enough to know that you need to appeal to your current audience, and then the algorithm will expand you to the other audiences. I don't think it's any different here. I think you need to expand to your current community, get a ton of them playing. That'll showcase popularity, proof of concept and things like that. And then the rest of the people will be like, okay, I know it's a crypto game. I'm hesitant on NFTs, but all these other people are playing. How bad could the game possibly be? And that's definitely how you need to engage with some of these crowds sometimes. And I think the MMO Lite is really the key to that. Me personally, I was hoping the MMO Lite would be released more in bits and pieces, but I know Kieran's waiting for a much larger release where everyone can play everything all at once, sort of a thing. And that's fine. I differ on that opinion, but I'm just impatient. I really want to get combat into the overworld so I can go and train up my Illuvials for Leviathan. Maybe we'll have a bit more time for major Leviathan leagues and stuff like that, so it's perfectly fine. But the MMO Lite sounding to be pretty exciting. I don't know how good it's going to be honest. I think combat will be fun. I think if they add some innovation there, it'll be good. I don't want it to be just standard ARPG sort of stuff. I think Illuvial companions need to be deeper than what we've seen in most other games. Palworld did a pretty good job because you could use like your fox as a flamethrower or whatever. That sort of stuff added something new for people to get. We need something in Illuvium that players can't get in another game. Right now, from everything we've heard, we don't really have that thing quite yet. I was really excited when I heard Roger talk about how catching the Illuvial is going to be a little bit of a mini game inside it and stuff. I think that's going to make it more interesting. I think that's where we're starting to get to that sort of area. But I need your Illuvial companions to really play a role in there. If they're the main resource, that could be really cool as well. It sounds like you're going to be burning them to level up your skills and craft your different equipment and stuff like that. That hasn't really been done before. Normally it's resources and things. I'd love the idea of Illuvials becoming that resource, or even Illuvial essence or something like that. And I think set 2 is going to lend itself a lot there. I hope that's not too far away. Even just a few alluvials from set 2. But I think the MMO Lite, from everything we've heard, there's not a whole lot that's innovating on the genre yet. But I definitely think that they've got that in mind, or at least if they haven't heard my complaining about it, then I hope they do.
Nice. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think MMOs have a great use case in Web3. I think that it's just super, super interesting to have all these assets be with real ownership. It makes the game more immersive. Like, you're going to feel like when you're in this overworld that this is actually your weapon. This is your alluvial. That's your partner, your companion. I think it's going to feel really good, especially if it's like just a monster next to you. This giant Axodon, it'll just be a shield protecting you. I don't know. There's so many cool things that'll be going with it. So, and then obviously the raids, once those are implemented, that's going to be really cool too. Awesome.
I definitely think PvP and stuff will be a big component here as well. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but it'll make the gameplay more replayable, if nothing else. For example, a raid, you can really only fight a boss so many times until it's so telegraphed in your mind that it's not even that fun anymore. But imagine taking on a boss and there's another squad of 3 or 4 that's also taking on the same boss, and you're going to fight off that other squad as well as the boss. And then the PvP element adds all this replayability to it, where you're not just playing against an AI that's extremely predictable. I mean, it's predictable to a certain extent, all AIs, right? You're playing against another host of players. And maybe there's an element of they're trying to get your loot, you're trying to get their loot and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what PvP would look like in Illuvium, but I do know that it would add a lot of retention to the game, regardless of really how they approach it. But it's hard. I know Illuvium's probably meant to be more of a PvE type game. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, let's go back to the tournament side. Let's go back to ranked. Let's talk about... Do we want to do the Illuvium, the Leviathan Rumble first, or the LPL?
Do the IPL quickly, and then we'll get to the Leviathan Rumble.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and pull that up to talk about what's happening in there. Oh, shoot, where did I put it? There it is. So we've got the Pro League. This has been shared. This is the official tournament that we've been waiting for. I know some of us thought, it might be a $40 million prize pool back in the pure hype of 2021, but it is a $250,000 prize pool, and that is still comparable to TFT and many of these other games. So it's going to be awesome to get this out there. And hopefully we're going to start seeing all of these TFT pros coming in like, oh, I can do this. Well, I can make more money here. Let's do it. And they're going to come in. I know Kieran's got a bunch of stuff that he's got planned. We've got some pretty good casters that are going to be doing stuff. I'm excited to see everyone get in there and hopefully make this really, really interesting. And a good time, especially with spectator mode finally on. It should make it good. And as you mentioned, there should be some updates for that. So the way that the IPL is working, there's going to be multiple ways to qualify for the event. There's going to be, your regular ranked leaderboard points, which is going to be great. You're going to have 4 from that. You're going to have the IPL points, which is you're going to earn those throughout playing the different tournaments. And then there's going to be a last call tournament and last chance event. These are going to be really, really interesting. A lot of different ways to get in there. I know that some people wanted a Leviathan entry, and it's a little bit late there for, I think, that to get implemented. I know that that's, I would say, partly on anyone who was working on the tournament structure, and including I made a couple suggestions, and I never thought to put Leviathan, so that's on me also. Definitely think that would have been valuable. What are your thoughts? Should we have attached Leviathan or keep it totally free?
I don't think there's anything stopping an ILP 250 or even one of the 500s from being a Leviathan every now and then, right?
Okay. And what else are you talking about in some other chats? Have you any alpha you can leak about these?
About these events?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not on the council anymore, man. I got nothing.
Okay, never mind.
I reckon, we're talking today. We're trying to figure out who's going to host it, who's going to cast it, and things like that. And there was some discussion about getting a color caster from the TFT community in some way. We don't know who it might be or if they would be interested in things like that. But I know there's a lot of marketing that's going to go out to TFT streamers and things like that. Kieran's tweeted about that. But the other thing is getting one of them to actually help cast events on behalf of Illuvium and be like obviously they've been doing it for a lot longer. They're probably very, very good at it. Not only that, but they've got like the audiences and stuff that would bring with them and things like that as well. And they would be able to provide really good feedback to the team regarding everything from that position as well. So I definitely think that sort of thing will make the tournaments and the streams much more exciting and much more watchable. And I think that could be only be a good thing for the game. They don't have to get up to speed on Illuvium, of course, but I'm sure they can.
Okay. And how are players getting into these IPL 250s and 500s? The 1000s is going to be an invite only, but how are these players being selected, or is it just first come first serve to register and they're able to get in?
No, I believe those two are both a sit and go. I think it says it lower down on the page, but there's a sit and go. I'm not sure if the time changes between the two of them, but I think it's a 2-hour sit and go. And then whoever has the top scores gets into those tournaments. For the 250, it's 32 players. And for the 500, it's 64 players.
Nice.
And then the IPL 1000 is basically an invitational from those two tournaments for the most part.
Oh, there you go, guys. So that's kind of how that's playing out. You can, if you guys want, you can definitely check out the full listing here. I'll go post it on the chat. And we got Stegan asking for the balance to come. This patch needs to change. But it does look like Surfer Dude's got a comp that beat the 4 Revenant. Nice. But yeah, this is I'm really excited. I mean, the mid-December, I think that's going to be a great time for a tournament to be hosted. I think this is just after the League of Legends World Championship. I think maybe just after CSGO 2 World Championship too. So hopefully we have this beautiful window where we can get in there and have a really good spotlight on Illuvium. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They use the bloody American structure for the date, month, and everything. It kills me. It kills me. I can't read it.
I actually, as an American, do think that the European, or whatever we want to call it, the other way of doing it, like day, month, year, is better. Like that's just inherently better.
Yeah, I mean, it's just common sense.
Yeah, it's silly. I don't know. It's same with like non-metric units. Like metric is just so much better in every way. As a past aerospace engineer, I loved it.
It is. That one's harder to like rewire someone's brain. So I don't hate that one as much, but the day, month, year one is so easy to just tell the world, just do that. No one's going to get left behind or whatever, right?
Yep. Well, let's jump into the Polemos Leviathan Rumble. I've posted the rules in the chat. I'll share this on X shortly after. We are still waiting to get officially listed on the Illuvialytics website with Rich. Already talked with him. He's happy to do that. So that's where we'll be hosting it. And we're going to be doing it a little bit in a 2-phase structure. We like the sit and go qualifiers. This is just, it allows everyone to play. There's no need for registration. Who knows? Maybe we'll get 200 players, 300, 1,000 players come in randomly. We want a structure where they can all actually get in there and try the game. So that's what we're hopeful for, that there's going to be a lot more than, let's say, even 64 players. This just makes it easier. And then we're going to be we actually got this prize, the scoring structure from Quants, from the Syndicate Guild. They've set up great tournaments in the past. And so we're going to do that for the sit and go. So at 10 a.m. or shortly after, we're going to start the time window. Be like, everyone can play. And within that window, you can play as many games as you want, and you're trying to get as many points as possible. If you can obviously win a couple of games, it's going to put you greatly ahead. 7 points compared to -7 points. It's going to really, really skyrocket you up, and you're going to play literally up till 129. If you start a game at 129, it will still, you can finish playing that game. That will still count for points. So obviously if you're like running and you're like, oh, I could get back in, I could get in their game in, do it. Try to get those extra points, squeeze them in there. The top 8 of those players are then going to be qualifying for the finals, and we're going to do that regular best of 3 format. The one thing that I will mention on our sit and go qualifiers, because we still want to have a proper finals, this is only 3.5 hours. And we'll I like to point out the pros and cons of different setups. This is definitely can have a little bit more RNG. You don't have as many games to have more consistent, well-played rounds. So you might want to play a little bit more risky because it's only 3.5 hours long, but I think that's enough time to weed out, and get the top 8. So then we're going to have the finals where we're going to be doing 3 back-to-back matches. We've seen this structure time and time again, where you're going to get points based on your placement. Those with the most points after the 3 matches will be the winner, crowned the Leviathan Rumble winner. We have some tiebreakers. I won't go through all of those. as I mentioned, the link for the Luvalytics will be there. To try and prevent cheating, we really need anyone who's participating to be in the Discord voice channels. This is because if you have 8 friends and you go out and you guys could create your own parties, your own games, and just try to keep cycling through, and that would be a clear manipulation and exploit. So if you're going to be participating in the tournament and you want your points to count, you need to be in the Polemos Discord voice channel. There's also going to be no casting in that channel. I don't want people like saying, oh, wow, Scoriox has got this awesome Revenant team. We don't want anyone to know what other people are doing. So we're going to be watching out for that for sure. So that's something to just keep in mind. Some other rules, we'll go through some of those. If there's no transfers or sales of alluvials. This was something that came in a little bit last second in the last tournament, but it was great addition. We don't want people changing those over. Maybe in the future, if we have a 2-day tournament, I could see, all right, if you make it to the top, the top 8, yeah, everyone can then pump their alluvials into you. Maybe you can rent them on the Polemos Forge. We'd love that idea, but for this tournament, we're just doing a 1 day and see how that kind of comes. And
it's funny because it'd be so easy to catch it too. It's all on chain. Like, good luck.
Yeah. And then also just the final contestants are not allowed to watch the tournament while playing in the finals. We're going to keep that same rule. If a game-breaking bug occurs in the first 3 auto battlers of a match, notify an admin immediately. If you can, please provide video evidence, or at least make it clear that you had an issue, and we'll make sure to take care of that. I will be hosting and casting it, maybe with some another guild member out there. So we'll be spectating you guys. Get excited. It should be a lot of fun. And then after the first 3 rounds, there will be no exceptions. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's go into the prizes. If you haven't seen, Illuvium has given us an extra 100 ILV to pump this tournament up. So we're going to be going out with this prize structure now. The first place is getting 30 ILV. Just a real quick, how much is that? That is $600 right there. That's going to feel really good for whoever gets first place. I know in some countries that is a nice little bit of money for them. I would be really happy with getting $600 right there, especially if ILV keeps pumping. So that's really, really engaging. We're trying to make this prize structure spread out. So you'll see that we're going all the way up to the top 32. I think that this is the best way to get Leviathan players in, so that even if you don't have a top tier deck, you're going to be, I think I can make top 32. And so they're going to try and do that. And we're even going to be throwing in this very interesting idea, which is I got from Surfer Dude, actually, with a little bit of back and forth, but that's to have like a pre-made team bundle that will then raffle out to anyone above 32 to 64. And then, like maybe they're playing with a free to play deck, and then they managed to win this raffle because they managed to get in the top 64. Now they have a Predator bundle, and these are 90 plus TPI, 50 level 50 or above alluvials, the full line, Gorilla to Exalted Gorilla, and Chuko to Chukondi.
Awesome.
So you'll get this full Predator bundle, and then that should hopefully incentivize that person to be like, okay, I'm going to play in the next Leviathan tournament. And then it's going to be this iterative process where people get these bundles. And I'd like to make it full teams in the future where you'll be able to get like a full comp. Maybe it's the Revenant comp that's super meta right now. And that's what will be happening. So I'll stop there, ask the community for any questions. Scoriox, if you have any questions, love to hear your thoughts on the structure.
No, I love it. I like the idea of top 32 because, like, when you were saying like you got to be top 8 and then you go into finals and stuff, I'm like, oh, my team's maybe not good enough for that, so maybe I shouldn't join in the Leviathan tournament. It's 8 p.m. for me, so that definitely factors in. But then you're saying like top 32 are getting some ILV and things like that. It's like, well, I had a lot of fun playing Leviathan. I would love to try test my mettle. I know the Syndicate has been honing their skills on this sit and go format. I hadn't actually seen their point structure before. The -7 points for coming last is really interesting. I really, really like it. I'm sure they've been honing this over a while, so I'm sure it's a really good structure. Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. I think credit to them for that as well. And they've been doing some good work. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty brutal. If you get an 8th place, you are going to be like, oof, that sucks. That really, really hurts. But crazy. You might even like just get like one like 2nd or 3rd place, and then maybe be like play one more game, you get like 4th or 5th, and you're like, okay, I'm not risking losing points now, but to see if everyone else loses points. Exactly. Here we go. Yep.
Yep, it'll be a game of attrition. See who can stay positive. Maybe the like top 64 is all just positive people. Like you win one game and maybe just sit. You're like, all right, I'm done. You know, and we're gonna give updates hopefully like every hour or so of where the bracket is. Like how many points is making it in the money, and whatnot. So should be fun. We got one other. Oh, and I have graphics for this. So here you go. The original graphic, although that was just the 1200 in ILV up for grabs. Then we got this one. Let's do the spotlight right there. So there's the gorilla and drop bear combo. So that's going to be really, really exciting to whoever wins that. Obviously, you can just sell it back on the marketplace too. They're all really good alluvials. So, I mean, they're all 90 plus. It's crazy. So that's awesome. If you end up winning those, that's going to feel really good. And then also I wanted to show, we're going to be doing an Illuvium game night tomorrow. So we have 4 CMs now. All right. I'm gonna give a shout out to all my CMs. We've got Ian from the Philippines. He's going to be hosting game night, and you can find all of these in the Polemos Discord. I'm going to be hosting one. We have our man Inju from Portugal, and not Portugal, from Spain. He speaks Spanish, and then we've got Raquel, or Obsessed Lady, and she's from Brazil. So we're going to have a good variety of 4 different game nights, 4 different languages, and we're really going to try and make Polemos a hub where players can come in and just have fun. We really want to make it a lively place where we're every week we're going to be playing a different game. So that's one thing to also note. Like this week is Illuvium, next week is Futureverse, the week after that is Raven Quest, and then we have Project Zero. Go ahead.
What time is it typically, if you relate it to this time right now?
Yep. So each one is different, and it's based on like your region. So like Southeast Asia, it's like 6 to 7 p.m. sometime in there. Mine is 6 to 7 p.m. in Europe. That way, it like people who are getting off work can actually join us, and that's what we're trying to do. Same with Spain and Venezuela. Apparently, we got a lot of people from Venezuela joining our game nights, and then we've also got Brazil, which is just a really big player in the space as well.
Close.
But and so we'll be giving out $20, $25 in the PLMS for people who join. We'll try and have some kind of condition or a raffle so that you can potentially get that money. But I think that's all I've got for today. I'm curious if you had any other thoughts that you wanted to bring up, Scoriox. I think we'll also ask the community. You guys got anything? What do you guys think of my haircut? I saw a couple people post to say something. All right. Ooh, baby. I'm Polemos, you know? This is Polemos colors.
You're way too dedicated.
And guess what? We're actually, you know what? I'll show this while we're
I just noticed have the snake behind me. It's reflecting off one of my monitors.
Yeah, and who's dedicated to Illuvium, huh? But so my costume, I'm going a full Spartan costume to represent, Polemos. And we're going to Gamescom next, not next week, but the week after. So that's going to be really exciting. This was the image I just showed the hairstylist. I'm like, I want this cool red look right here.
Wow.
I don't know if it exactly turned out well. What do you guys think? Does it fit? Yeah, let's put. Yeah. I mean,
you should AI yourself into the image.
This is what AI did. I took a picture of me just standing in my living room and said, "Hey, make me a Spartan with a red highlight." And so I've got a shield too. Here, let me find the shield for you guys real quick. So this is going to be fun. I can't wait to show this off to people. And then we're going to get the Polemos logo stitched on a cape. And I'm just going to be walking around Gamescom just looking badass, I think. So it's going to be super, super fun. Hopefully we'll get some Web2 influencers who are like, hey, you know what? You look fun. I want to see what you guys are building. We bring them in. They bring their Web2 communities. And we start to actually gain traction in the Web3 space. That's what I want to do. That's the whole goal of me going there, is just to try and do that. Here is the shield, by the way. Check this out.
Nice.
So we're hopefully going to get
that finished? No,
that's AI. It's AI, and I shipped it. I got a shield maker, and it's going to be in steel too, which is crazy, and only like 190 to cost it. So it's going to be really exciting. Hopefully, I can make it into Comic-Con. Because that's the problem. It might be.
They allow you. I'm not convinced.
Yeah. So, but cool. Well, were there any other questions? Should be interesting if they change it. That was from earlier. Sorry, Surfer Dude. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, Scoriox. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing. That is, we're going to try and do some guild workshops in the next couple days. If you are a guild like Hyperion, Syndicate, Ola, Tempest, Noah, like all of these, there's so many guilds, right? And if you guys want to bring your community and connect with our community in the Polemos Discord, we want to do these skills workshops. And so I've already reached out to several of them. They said that they're interested. And then hopefully a massive gym session before you go. Hey, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm still small, I know, but we're trying to pump up. I've been fasting. I got my protein shake right here. We're doing everything we can. But yeah, so if you guys if you need help in the game, hopefully we'll have some pros in the next couple days in the Polemos Discord. That's it, everyone. Thanks again, Scoriox, for joining. I really do appreciate you getting on here. You have a great day, and I'm going to sign off. You want to say anything else about your channel?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me. Channel Scoriox, King Scoriox on Twitter. Someone took the actual name that I wanted. Maybe I'll try and get it back at some point. But yeah, no, it's been a pleasure being here. We're good mates. Polemos is always doing awesome stuff for the space. Their platform clearly is working pretty well at the moment. I've heard some good things of late, so I'm glad that you guys have got it all under control and it's all going quite well and helping out for Leviathan and stuff as well. I'm assuming it kicked off in popularity when Leviathan took off. Did you get a lot of hits?
Yeah, I mean, we had over 150 different people, not people, alluvials trying to be rented. So that was pretty exciting. Unfortunately, we did run into a hiccup due to us trying to optimize it before the tournament. So we had to revert that. It's working now. I've done all the testing literally yesterday. It is ready for this Leviathan tournament this Friday. So that should be really good. If you have alluvials and you're not playing, definitely stake them. There's going to be people looking for those high TPIs. I know that our Forge needs some optimization too, because it doesn't show the stats. There's no batching mechanism, and some people want to share for free. All three of those features, we're having a lot of internal discussions about. What I need is to be able to show our team that we have a massive demand for that. Like Illuvium is requesting those, and they're willing to even maybe like a guild subscription fee for like $100 or something, just so we can show that there's actually a market fit. If I can present that to the Polemos team, I'm sure we would start working on that earlier. So expect to see like a post trying to ask for engagement, see what you guys are interested in, what you think would be the most valuable asset or feature for us to add. And then, we're going to try and add that in there. So
yeah, definitely. That's good. I think renting, like I've said, day one, renting out your entire collection. That's the play, man. That's the play. Let someone rent it out for $50 an hour or $50 a day or whatever. Someone would definitely get that. They'd be like, that's got like a collection score of 1,000 or whatever, and then they do it. Like, it can be done. It can be done.
Awesome. Well, everyone, have a great day. Caveman